Hey, what's going on? It's Peter here, and in today's video I want to talk about this book, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. So she's the one that wrote the book The Secret. I'm sure you've heard of that book before. And I picked up this book at a used bookstore when me and my girlfriend were traveling around. And what I liked about the book was it has daily exercises that you can do around creating more magic in your life. And the fact that, magic, if you believe in it or not, I feel like it's a thing that you can create in your life. And what I really liked about the book is as soon as I opened it up, the first chapter basically talked about gratitude. The more grateful you are for the things you have in your life and the things around you, the more the universe is going to provide more of those things. So throughout this book, there's 28 days, I believe, of different practices that you can do that some of them stack on top of each other. So each day you kind of add them on. And some of them are consistent throughout the kind of 28 days. And then there's some that you just do for the one day. So there's exercises around more gratitude around your relationships, around money, around your current circumstances. And the one recent one I did that I want to talk about today is gratitude around some mistakes that you've made in your life. So most people, when they make a mistake, they think that they are their mistake, right? They can't separate the mistake from who they are as a human being. So they identify as that mistake, and then their self-image then, goes down the drain because they identify with the mistake, as opposed to looking at that mistake and seeing how that was a critical part in their journey of becoming who they are and shaping who they are as a human being. So an example that I thought of when it talked about, thinking about a mistake that you're grateful for and everything that's happened because of that mistake. When my gym failed, probably, I guess, 7 years ago now or so, I made a big mistake. I was running my business. I didn't understand my numbers or financials. I gave everything to my accountant and bookkeeper, thinking that they would have our best interest at heart and that they would warn us if anything was wrong. When in reality, our accountant, all they focused on was just doing our taxes. And my bookkeeper, they just, all their main focus was to just tally up the receipts and the expenses for the month and, give us a balance or an income statement at the end of the month. So the mistake that I made was I didn't understand how to read that. I didn't understand how to look at those numbers. And then my bookkeeper, she ended up giving us income statements showing that we were profiting like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And in reality, what was happening, we were actually losing probably $3,000 to $5,000 a month. So, it was funny because she'd give us that sheet, and then I would look at the bottom, like, oh, we're profiting, $2,000 this month. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, why is our bank account have less money? And then this happened for like 3 or 4 months, and our bank account just kept going down, down, down. And in one night, I opened up an Excel spreadsheet and I tallied up all the income and the expenses for each month for like the past year, and I realized what went wrong. So that was my mistake, right? It wasn't the accountant's mistake. It wasn't the bookkeeper's mistake. It was my mistake because I didn't understand my numbers and how to look at things. So we ended up having to shut down the gym and close the doors, and it was super sad. Told our clients, everyone was crying. But looking back at it, it was actually, there was a lot of things that came out of it that were awesome through the gym. Because the gym closed, it allowed me to work at a marketing company, and they were doing really well. I was able to learn a ton. And it was through that experience that led me to another marketing company, which I was able to then learn even more. And then that led me to another position doing marketing. And it was really allowing me to go after what I really wanted, which was marketing. Like my passion was marketing and copywriting. And the gym was a vehicle for that. But once the gym shut down, it really allowed me to then work at these different companies and gain a bunch of experience. To now I'm working with, multiple clients, helping them with marketing and copywriting, working from home. I got time freedom, location freedom, and it's awesome. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't make that mistake with the gym and leading to the gym closing down. So, yeah, I feel like that reframe on that mistake was a nice little exercise because I realized there was a lot of good that happened from that mistake. And also to not look at things as good or bad, right? So often in our society, we like to label things as either good or bad, right or wrong, when in reality, it's basically at what perspective are you looking at that situation from? That will determine, your take on it. Everything is neutral, right? It's just how we perceive it and the label that we put on it that makes things good or bad or right or wrong. So that's also a great reminder to not judge events that have happened in the past or that may currently be happening right now, because you never know if it's going to turn out to be a good thing or a bad thing. And if you tune your RAS, your reticular activation system, to always be grateful for things and always be grateful for things that might not be favorable in the moment, then that thing that's not favorable in the moment is actually going to be a good thing because you've trained yourself to look for that. So, yeah, this is a great book if you've ever thought of upping your gratitude practice. There's a ton of cool exercises and prompts for you to do to just tune into the small things, and be grateful for the tiny little things in your life, and to start looking them out and not wait for the big grand event to be grateful for. There's so many things to be grateful for, especially if we live in, the North America or any first world country. So yeah, if that's what you're lacking in your life right now, if you're feeling a bit down or, you're not really in the best mood, I highly recommend a gratitude practice, and this book is a great one to kick that off for you. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.